2, 1. You guys are getting me fucking hungry here. Spoiled. I really am spoiled.
Okay, rolling.
Yeah, if you put 2 lasagnas on top of each other, that's just 1 lasagna. Yeah. You can literally duplicate, or I guess, what's the opposite of duplicate? You
Okay, let the race begin.
Lasagna simplification, simple math.
Oh shit. Camera's a little
I wonder what the tallest
slow.
lasagna, like the most layers that have ever been put in a, yeah, world record lasagna. I wonder what that is. I wonder how tall it is.
What happened?
It was her or it was
Yeah,
me.
the only thing that puts it back to normal
This
is
would
if you
have been
stop
a
the
video.
service and
lasagna.
start it back
Dude,
up.
one of these days, a gamer is gonna find the lasagna
Wait,
and dupe
wait,
it,
what-
and it's gonna
what
change the
happened?
world hunger forever.
So I have to fix that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There was one hit left, and I decided to go to the UFO instead of getting
Go back.
and that hit me.
Always finding these lasagnas.
Having my CPU running
This was a
90% all the
safety
time
that is
is
growing.
really
Yeah, it's up to hour 120, dude. Nice. Is that your first one? Dude, grab for it. Wow.
The commentary you can hear is actually the original commentary of the producer.
You're like,
The routes for each run on Arcsim's Worlds are actually 99% similar, which is to be expected.
And for me, my heart's in one.
usually what I search.
I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like your heart's in like any percent. You hate the category. I'm like that with any percent. I'm like, dude, you want this category. I just want to go back to one.
And a really good squad.
But I'm having fun with it either way. You know what I mean? Like, I say
But
that.
those was fine,
I say
was
like,
fine.
oh, I hate it, but it's really like a love.
I should have gotten the sheep. Just to be safe. Because I didn't.
By 39 base run.
Splits in this video are usually after each level and at Balloonist.
Oh, did my freaking splits not start?
It would have.
Pretty quick.
It weighed 5 tons, dude. That's like the size of like a truck.
Hey,
I go back to 120. I'm going to continue. Except I still have
Yo, grabbing? Yeah, dude. Fucking thank you for the congrats.
playing that guy. I'm just taking a short
You got
break
your
from it
first
at the
sub
moment
140,
between
120 on
this
Reed. Dude, let's go Turk Circle.
reignited.
Fucking legend.
It's still like my main.
What's world record like real time and in-game time? 120%?
Spyro gets extra height if you charge, then let go of the controls and jump to max height and then charge again.
Smegma's from Poland? Oh no, I read that wrong.
I think I want under I think.
Oh my god. I'm lucky that I'm
trying to play.
That's cute. Talk about Smegma.
Maybe that's good. Not right now.
Making me hungry.
I'm like very good at
Well,
figuring
That's how that
this
works.
when
time
there's
as
any
a
sort of
reference, so I'm
anything like
156
Like,
ahead.
that's my max out.
If I end
Just because I'm like very analytical. and shit.
Okay.
2 minutes ahead at the end of the run.
Understandable, that's really crap.
About an 8-second time save by abusing the geometry.
I mean, the chances are
There's so much
Go
time.
rap, dude. Let's go,
or
guys.
something. So
How far ahead were you going into Sword?
Why say congrats when you can combo these
Both
grabs?
of them.
Say
Worse
again.
About these guys.
I guess I'll try searching for
They traveled at the
Dude,
pace
it
of
would
this
still be
world.
wrong because 120% does the same wall glide.
That's how it is.
Stupid hard jumps.
Guessing it's an electric type.
Yeah, 120% muscle memory from
When I
2013.
died, I glanced at my
Yeah,
minus
Yeah,
35.
exactly.
It's yellow.
Was I the kid with behavior problems?
It would have definitely.
No.
Yeah.
No, I was a pretty good kid, honestly. I wanted to be a class clown, but I was like too shy. Sometimes I would say something
But this
funny and I would like swear that was a bad response.
I've gotten one
Like, you'll say something funny
so
in class,
I get
and
those.
then like the whole thing would feel like I'm
But
talking
among-
like, yeah, I'm funny.
what kind?
I don't even know what that's.
Yeah.
I don't know what these things are.
Yeah.
Reap.
She,
Could you?
He's like, I can't even remember what speed run.
She woke me up this morning, actually.
But that's how it is.
Me, I was like, fuck, you want to
Mario.
and like,
I mean, the fact that you're getting runs close to PB.
It's true. It's like that when you're in the chat. I know exactly the feeling. If I say something funny in the
You want
stream,
them to actually result in something.
that's like
Does it actually
success.
start?
I woke up with this today.
Tuval gets hit for the first time several times in this run.
That's not happening.
If I get the Wildflight,
Yeah, we're gonna start my split.
I had another good run. Where I thought I had it. Then I took
Damn,
my
fam,
hand
like,
off the
damn,
controller
fam.
to the minus split.
Sure.
Oh, you did. That is.
Cram for this test.
I can't even be sorry about that. Like, that's your own damn fault.
I didn't think I would miss it.
Oh, that is horrible.
420 again.
Yeah.
This is like Spyro 3 is one of those games where you just know that your last split is
Like,
going
was
to
I
be
attention?
and that's
Mary
fine.
and she
I know.
Just
dancing.
beat the game first.
I know.
Oh, that's
I saw
heartbreaking
the
to
last
hear.
truck flying to her. I thought I was fine.
That is heartbreaking to hear.
Clifftown's major trick is proxy.
I don't know if you told me about that one before, but it feels
No, I didn't.
fresh.
Tuval's death here is intentional to reset the cycle for a second
It was
attempt.
actually really funny.
I'm sure it was, but
Places in
It would have been a much
It's like I'd rather miss the
smaller
drive than just get Mama Crossing than this. Even though the time is slightly better.
Yeah.
Generally.
That happened this well. It's like either my helmet suddenly doesn't work at all when I'm on a good pace, or some bad habit.
Fuck me.
It's so visual.
I get the feeling maybe you need to practice sorceress. I don't know. Like
I jump.
that seems like. I mean, practicing sorceress is a good idea for every character on a 100% of the time. You really like ways
After Clifftown, the winners diverge a little. Some do Dr. Shem, some do Nightflight. I'm still inserting a split here because it will even out by the blue.
Proximity supposedly fine.
Thanks for the take
Just like half the gems at level. The gem count's under as well.
Geometry has the gym count looking
Well under 70.
I had a lot of rounds.
I got the blue guy.
Oh my god, I hate the cannon, it's so bad.
I'm probably not gonna be streaming.
I like the
I
stream.
go back.
Thursday.
Stream. It's kind of my last round.
That's all I have to do.
Turn on your PS2.
Still a nice proxy to find.
Goddamn,
I didn't even see you streaming, so
It's pretty fun.
playing.
I'm guessing that's like a list. He's always feel like a lot of energy and maybe ADHD. Dude, there's always like one or two kids that are just like, please just like give this teacher a break, you know? This teacher deals with enough bullshit. That's how I always felt. Even if there was like teachers I didn't like in school, you know, I wouldn't like give them a hard time. And I had a lot of like friends that would give teachers a hard time if they didn't like them.
At the very least.
Just be like, whatever, man. That's bullshit and stuff like that. Or like always questioning where you
Like
like
killing yourself.
Because people are so like, you know, at that age,
Right
middle school, high school, development
Sounds like
is
great.
so like when you take out all the
It's worth going for once.
You can do it. I don't know.
Yo, bud.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Better now.
That was pretty pathetic. I was concentrating on the show. I started this level. Tricky.
Wildflight.
I don't know, like, the fact that you're getting close to PV is a good sign for the race.
I forgot to start my splits faulty.
Yeah, just
Shallots are better than onions. I mean, they're good.
You don't have to be there.
I
You just need to contribute to the team.
no pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for your luck.
Yeah, it was the first try. It was literally a perfect one.
Well,
That was
for-
perfect and my nose. He asked me no double, which is a really good and like a really good choice. So I essentially have no time to say it. So I'm in this world. But it's fun because look, I had a shit ton of time to say it in like the normal game. Because I get 3 out of 3 of these people's trips, and I'm like 15 to 20
know who
seconds
the
ahead.
second is.
So it's actually even more fun splits to run.
Yeah.
I would reset, but
Terrace.
Same.
Really?
Far more fun to play than my last split.
I mean, Terrace is actually.
Do you have another world record, Tom? So I don't know, but yes, I literally just got it earlier today. It's a 38.03, and it might even be a 38.02. I might need a reset.
Yeah, and that's
Probably
very much a good thing.
But either way, my previous record before that I got a couple weeks ago was a 38.15. So I was on the 11 seconds.
I mean, all the games in it are like
Okay, 1250.
pretty platform.
It's hard as
Either CCR or 3D platform.
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Because my best pace literally was
Still good.
best sets, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
maybe, I don't know.
Pretty sure that's still the case. So I was like 5.7.
Drinking whiskey scotch.
Like including Mario Party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a good whiskey guy myself.
Still the
If I ever
least
drink like any sort of
Mario
liquid
Kart.
like alcohol, I always try to mask it. with another. That's why I really like gin.
Diddy Kong
drinks,
Racing.
because like gin and tonic, it like really masks the flavor of gin, or like gin lime. That's my favorite mixed drink. Gin, lime, tonic. Boom. You don't even taste the gin.
What makes you say that?
I don't drink those.
Oh yeah, Mr. Crab.
Have you played the remake? Yeah, you can't play the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially those who aren't even partaking in any dangerous drugs or alcohol.
Oh, right. I thought you were trying to say that Bash is like a better game.
The free sun. Yo, Blue, thanks for the drops, man. Appreciate it. There's like a nice brain perfect brain
I think we somehow managed to have the recall. He got it for PS4, for Switch, and then he said he found another sealed PS4 copy of the game.
Well, you found it.
It was
Lying
like,
on the street.
I had, yeah, I don't know. It was like a from the. Hi.
You can like burn like
He doesn't remember anymore.
You donate
You
one
get
to
like hot knifing, like you can like put
Yeah.
like, a hot blade up to a nut.
Dude, nobody's ever come over here.
That's like one really janky way to smoke weed if you don't have a piece. Hot knife. It destroys your knife. I learned this on 4.2.
Not my suck.
I couldn't see him.
Quick sip of this van. I turned into a crazy bitch from this water. Oh man, I had like a half gallon of water just now.
Someone like
I feel a
Martin.
little bougie right now.
Usually not.
A little wacky.
He's just
It's a really solid run.
someone who buys it
Nowhere
with
near as
games.
good.
Hot Knife is a half pound advantage. Dude, I would love to be in a room with just like a fucking like burning pile of weed
Changing
in
my
it.
name to Cocoon.
And hopefully not die.
Anybody?
No, it's just add a minute 55 to this.
Reenact the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, like burning the crop field, like mission.
Forgot to start my splits at the start of the
mission.
I've never seen it. Other than that.
Oh no, pours alcohol to a vape.
That's
Yo,
the
Jaiheart, thanks for
Yeah,
being
but,
the fucking game.
Chris, what do you think of those two bits? So
It's
that's what you do.
I think if I do good on the gems in the rest of this level, I should be
Maybe
losing
he
them.
did. Since I
I think that guy had a goal.
Because I'm not even really sure. But I like it.
Not the big cycle, but I think I can barely catch it.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was the great taste.
Wow, it's posted
He's always
like
something else, and now he's
Yeah.
busy with Celeste.
That's good.
That's global cycle RNG, baby. You want to do the same but just die? You just want to catch on fire?
Not want to be referred to by the stuff.
You know what I mean? Like, this is fine with the dog in the room that's on fire. I saw like a version of that that's like a fireball that's like has a bunch of doggies around it. Like, this is fun.
This is really tricky.
It really is.
I've heard different opinions from other runners.
I've heard the same opinion from Paul though.
We had a really good jump count. So
Seems to be a mixed view from
we got to do like caves. That's what matters.
but like everyone else at least like played it and all that stuff.
Yes, dude. That could have
Crazy how it
went
could have been
fucking
22
better.
or 40.
I
Yes.
didn't even say the second level. Unbelievable.
What a fucking banging
So bad. I'm just amazed I
Yeah, I kind of want to get like, is it weird that I like those weird like open world like grapple hook games like Just Cause and Far Cry and shit like that set on an island. My whole goal in those games is to find a plane and just like kamikaze and destroy. That's what I do in Grand Theft Auto 5 online. One of the funnest things to do is just get a helicopter or a fighter jet and just run into people.
Just two.
It's like someone driving down the street, other players just driving around. Get wrecked, dude. And then when you both respawn, you just keep shooting them, just breeze the hell out of them.
You're not 38-31 because
This guy didn't make this.
Again,
This
go
fighter is so OP.
this makes it easier for me to swim.
Yeah, I don't even fuck around with any of that. I make sure to just take all the money like out. It's actually better to do with the strat that I'm talking about. It's better to do that on like a fresh account that has $0. So then that way you don't have to pay any of the insurance money or if someone's like Just Cause 2 stuff. Dude, I really want to play Just Cause 2. I played Just Cause 1 and 6 on that in the world. And Catapult, dude, Bugs, why do we have the exact same taste in Amazing? I love Katamari Damacy. I wish they had like online Katamari Damacy. That'd be so sick.
Got another.
I forgot that's probably way loud. It's not sound balanced anymore. Thanks for the
Fun
reset
fact
later.
about it. Well, I guess it's kind of
372
sad
chapters.
personal story. When I was in like a long-term relationship, and when this girl broke up with me, I listened to the Katamari Damacy soundtrack a lot. And now every time I hear Lonely Room, it's still I'm like bust into tears. I remember, I'll never forget being in my car, like driving home from something once, and just like crying, like while listening to this like happy, like weird music. Funny juxtaposition.
Hey, Ty.
I actually wrote that song out. like
You
music.
came during
I wrote
break
that
room.
song
Oh, very nice.
so I could play with it now. I think maybe if I ever do find a new girlfriend who does like
It's summer time.
However, last night, man, was a little exceptional.
Not a good time.
Oh yeah, that was, like, I wouldn't even call that late.
Oh no.
Down, it's I would be like, yeah, you can just that wins. It's easy once you it's not.
I'm so sad about that. The best part of the song in its level is just
I'm right with you.
the
Swear.
very last measure of the song. It just gives me this like cool little loop. And then it loops back into the beginning. And I'm so sad because like when you see those things, you don't get to hear that part of the song. It's the best part of the whole fucking song.
That
Yeah, Die Hell, I broke the world record. You are fucking going for it. Nice, we all doing it. Nano, but thank you for the stuff, man. Appreciate it. Speaking of Nanobox, dude, I fucking love Ratchet and Clank. I really, if I do learn a new speed game one day, I do want to learn Ratchet and Clank alone. So cool. That game's really
Wait, I mean,
It's kind of hard though, dude. Like, it's gonna take a lot of work. That's like if I get like a 37 in this category, or 121 and 120%, and a 20 in Vortex, then I'll be like, that's like super distant feasible.
I didn't know.
White level completed with the dance battle. Only at that point do I consider myself done with this game. I feel like we may never reach that point.
Beastmakers is where Savoon ruins my splits after each level because he's the only runner to do terrace filling. So the next split will be at the balloons.
They saved like 8 seconds against Chris, I guess. Might be ahead.
Yeah, I'll run Vortex after I change history. Like,
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen soon. I'll put it that way. But yeah, that's my goal. Get 37 in this, get a 121 and 120%. 20 in Vortex, all the flight levels completed at the dance.
What is like 10?
And then
Go
that's
for the slow cycle.
I didn't get the pivot this time.
in that order. Well, maybe do the flight level dance pad whenever I want. Whenever I'm just feeling like memeing out, I'll do the flight level dance pad.
Can someone check what Alex's magic
I need to
was?
actually like if I didn't do it with the proper IL flight rules, you have to like complete the flight level first and then restart the timer.
Gem count is awful though.
It's a formality thing.
Dude, where was the flame? That's like the 10th time this run.
Easy, man. Thanks, Jigga Duck.
Missing a couple gems. Probably like over 20 gems down to this point. Hopefully less than 30. Should be fine. So we tried both skills, dude. I'm definitely never gonna play Spyro 2 if we ever see them. They're just not. That's
Actually not too bad.
They're like similar but different. You see what I'm saying? Like it was just like, I would want them to be this. You know what I mean? Linker, thanks for the sub. I thought that was I appreciate it. Okay, another damn old record. I know that. What if Sabuna takes one shot to take my record? I hope they do. That sounds like a great scenario. It sounds like actually like fun competition that I don't have. What am I trying to do playing my record? So we're talking about a hypothetical reality that doesn't exist. I'm not gonna talk about it's like, what happens if this happens? What happens if one stat happens? You know, it's like, fucking, I don't like, you know what I mean? Like, At this point, we're kind of like stretching our imagination a bit. But yeah, if they did break my record, like just to play double dutch, if they did break my record, I'd like to try to take it out. If we did get on the gentle, it's not good.
Not so fast.
Those frogs, their position is R&D as well.
Nice frogs.
Oh my gosh, the fuck's that? You really gotta hook me
I see you guys. I wasn't looking.
didn't tell it.
Yeah, I have Becky's chat open, I just didn't look at it for it.
No, I missed that. No. I can see blue so far, which means that I can still come out of this level. Yeah, I would love to have competition. It's kind of fucking crazy for me right now that that's not the case.
Why didn't you?
I'll remind you that for many years that I had no capability in this, and that the competition was too good. And now like the competition is literally like, except for this. I'm really more hopeful for rather than relying on I'm more hopeful for especially with America. I hope for more whoever there are definitely a lot of mid-level players playing 1.5%.
Oh, okay.
I might be losing a second, but I'm But yeah, you know, the point being is that, like, as it stands right now, there is no competition for them.
Desk having a riveting time from here.
Hello.
I got a maid for my Tumblr
Oh, good, yeah.
And it also includes Q&A. And one of the questions was, are you going to reverse the adult content itself?
Yeah.
They were like, no, we're not changing.
And he is
And I was like, what?
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, come on! Fuck!
If anything, the fact that I get such like these times just shows that the game
Very
is
annoying.
frustrating.
Sorry,
I hope it serves as something.
There's nothing to be already as well.
But it takes a lot of time. It takes a huge time investment. You know, many TVs.
It's so rare. Like,
Oh god, I'm not gonna make it.
maybe it wouldn't be as long of a journey.
I had
for
gold
someone else.
going
Maybe
in.
it'd be a longer journey for someone else.
No!
Oh my god.
Fuck you!
I'm not gonna sit here and ask the community to like, get on my Reddit or anything.
Okay.
The reality is I've like literally devoted
Alright,
my
muted it.
Yeah, then
But hey, I'm okay with it.
well, they did that a while ago, Chrissy, but then the whole
I'm okay.
site
Whether I have
got
competition
sold
or not, I'm okay
Why
with
is
it.
that so hard, dude?
because it just like lost half its it's not very valuable anymore, apparently.
What?
the adult content.
But it wasn't even just porn either, it's like art that was like risque as well. It's not like huge amount of
Father was that one.
The filters were really bad. So random stuff gets flagged as adult content
Are you
when
going to get back into Harry Potter? Yeah, I'm playing Harry Potter. Yeah. Not enough people play Harry Potter 2 at I'm glad that it is like being played and speedrun because it's such a fucking great
Misty Bog
game.
and Tree
There's
Top.
such an atmosphere in that game that I'm not playing.
In my life.
Harry Potter 1 and 2 for the first one.
Even I had a post that got dragged. It was so random that I was like, what the hell?
Nice. Time save.
I reported it and came to this poll.
My gems.
And then they had to manually check it. And then they realized, hey, you're right. It's not Alan. I was like, right, because the people on these random screenshots I did in 2015 were fully closed, and I don't know what triggered it. I have no idea.
Art is
It was a naked finger.
Wow, so
Misty Bog is stupid. 20 more pulse sparks left to
and yeah, it's basically a blogging site. It's like, I don't use it really either,
like
but
Alex or
Yo, thanks, Dragon Blitz. Appreciate it, man. Shout out to you as well, man. You're welcome.
I got this stuff.
For those of you who don't know, Dragon Blitz is the Castlevania Symphony of the Night 1% world record. Unless that's changed in
I don't think it's until 39, but I can still get a DVD.
What the fuck?
As well as
Oh,
some
thanks.
fucking legendary
Never gonna think about it.
videos.
It's actually not as cool of a name.
I mean, it still can.
You got that. That's nice.
Do they track randomizer runs on the leaderboard yet? Oh, you have 6 records? Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, what the I'm like getting this. I can't read the sarcasm. I like getting all these things. Look at it. 1 record or 30? Yeah, whatever. Same difference. Oh. I missed this thing. Oh. I'll just grab all those and roll up. Oh, no. So that minus 10 score there is that is
how much is it?
minus 20. We're definitely grabbing all the extra normal things and should be
No, you stopped.
maybe even a little up there.
Maybe you took long enough break, and maybe you should pick it up.
You started to talk, your hair is so beautiful.
I think I'm actually sleeping.
I was barely grabbing that one.
I'm pretty up.
Yeah, because of those gems, I'm losing a little bit more time on this homework.
Oh, actually,
As long as we stay green on this, which we should be.
Thanks for the good luck, cool
You fucking rock it, real shit.
So that's 47.
Yeah, Mr. Crab.
Remember last time I didn't go for floor fly? Yeah, I got world record. I know, push.
Oh, that's a really lame number to have, actually.
Well executed.
If I just had
How much
50 more
less?
gems, this would be
That's a real song that's off the Sonic Spinball
Nothing to
2
do while
soundtrack.
your Minecraft server is dead.
Sonic CD2.
I know it.
Right.
Oh yeah, hey Ty. Thanks for leaving us.
Remember I did a lot of
5
practice in
gems.
general while I was watching Jeremy. This was really, really
playing
boring.
up again.
Okay.
What happened to Jeremy? I gotta realize.
Yo.
Ended
I mean, I don't really like the gems. My name is
I don't think there's a Sonic Spinball 2. It's from some Sonic game. From the Sonic game.
you're at work at the moment.
I probably didn't need that little bit.
When Xander asked me if you're streaming, I was like, Jack's not even home yet. And his reaction was, where is he? Why is he not home? And I was like, he was at work. And then I was like, on a Tuesday? Or Wednesday? I was like, yes,
Yes, I
on a
work.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
291, that's perfect.
Full time now.
94.
He sounded so surprised that you aren't home.
Alright guys, pray. Can I do the back-to-back, bro? Can I do it?
That's so
I think
lame.
That'd be so legendary.
Oh, wait, what? Did I miss something?
Perfect.
No, never mind.
That's
For some reason I thought my generator got 204.
like half a second.
It
Oh,
doesn't
Chris
get
is
201. I still have to get 2 gems in the stands.
Yeah, man.
Actually, if I got wide straight in,
You're fucking kidding me! Okay, okay.
record.
Okay, shut the
I
fuck
need like an
up.
Shut the
optimal
fuck
shot.
up.
This is the first try. That's why I
Gems.
I need like a bounceless fucking
Wait, what?
wide straight in.
Oh, I missed. Oh. Yeah. Well, yeah, I miscounted.
I had 50 seconds of time loss because of
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but
I love
still.
I like it.
So.
We did it!
Make
Let's go.
Dude!
No. Fine.
Fuck! I don't know what this is gonna come out to be. Holy shit!
No, I have like
What?
between leaving the house.
Dude.
And getting
Don't
home
die.
again,
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Okay.
Let's go.
I don't know what this is gonna be, dude. I'm about to fucking have a heart attack right now.
You also sleep
Seriously.
8 hours.
Yes.
Don't die.
Less
Are you
With a very good.
Oh god, my heart is fucking racing.
but you should try to
the best there ever was!
Yeah, I mean, I often don't. I think 7 is
This
just
time.
2 world records in one day, the first 37 ever done in this game!
39.
Oh man, I am sick and I'm humble. Let's go, dude. Oh my god! 2 fucking
Oh! It's like
yes! 2 world records!
I have like
Just like that! Just like that!
Yes!
Two
This is the fucking 39, baby! Yes! Yes! Yes!
perfect routes!
Something
Are
like
you
that.
kidding me?
Yes!
Because I fucking...
I know what I'm
The
doing.
first
I
37
just have really bad
ever in Spyro!
55
Maybe the last for a long time. Who knows? Who knows, dude? Oh my god! Holy moly! Literally insane.
Well, I can't see this.
They said it couldn't be done. They said Rad Proxy could not be done. Not quickly, at least. Dale, I see you going through Rad Proxy. I see you trying your best. But you know, this rat, he takes no prisoners. He knows no bounds. And today, we prove that a first strike rat is well within our reach. It's well within your reach. And I challenge anybody here to fucking beat this PB. This run was not perfect, okay? This run has plenty of time to save, but goddamn was it fucking good. Holy moly! Yes!
It's over!
Fucking go, guys! Thank you for the subs. Holy shit! I can't believe this might be one of the most legendary feats in Spyro speedrunning ever. What about
Like, I threw away gold in my
back-to-back, 2 world records in one day.
Now there's order again in the Dragon Kingdom because what about Ganashi?
That's just
It's not the best.
what's
Now
insane.
there's order again in the Dragon
insane.
Kingdom.
Well, most. I still got some trouble.
What will you do
That
next?
is so insane, dude. Thank you, Zesty. Thank you to all the gifters.
Yeah, I think it was a
Oh, man.
30, 31-ish.
Let's fucking go. Where's Dagon? Wait, man, I still have it up on the thing over here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to fucking party. Where's the fucking thing at? Put it on.
Yeah. 1 second PB.
No.
I bonked at the very end as well. That should have been 2. Oh my word. You are kidding me.
Like best.
Oh, I don't want to save that. I don't want to save those splits.
Be like
It's in TV.
Why? But why?
Let's fucking go, dude.
This was.
Apparently we can have
Not
good
even my
runs.
best It was about 4 seconds or so.
Yeah, I don't even know if I would call that a good run.
38, but
You PP.
I did, but oh my god.
At least it's a better run than
Like,
your good.
honestly,
This was the best
Even if it's
speedrun
1
ever
second
in the
better.
history of Spyro. You
I
said
can't believe that
back.
bonk at the end though. I
Keep
never,
saying that right now,
ever
motherfucker.
bonked.
Holy shit, I can't even shoot it, dude.
I was thinking, like, I kind of glanced over at the timer while I was bonking and was like, oh shit, did that just kill it?
Let's fucking go.
This concludes the video and the race between the best 6 any percent speedrunners on the Retro Spyro game.
Remember what I was
I'm going to
saying?
leave a
You
link
guys
in the
remember what I was
description
saying
to
before
all
this
of
run?
their
I was like,
YouTube
yo, that low
channels,
38's
or if they
good,
don't
but
have a
it's gonna
YouTube
take me a
channel,
couple
Twitch
weeks to
channel,
beat this.
so that you can support their
Literally
content
2 runs
as
later.
well as this video. If you did enjoy the video, please consider dropping a like and
Oh my
subscribe to the
God.
channel. I hope to do a few more videos in this
Legendary.
series. For now,
Legendary.
bye.
I'm not too humble to admit that that shit was legendary. Oh my god, dude. The double rats. The double fucking rats.
I
So
mean,
many tries wasn't
Let's
fun.
fucking go,
Third
man.
try, which matches up with what
Holy shit.
Lutz just said. 'Cause unless he means
man, I'm
in
fucking
addition.
hyped out of my
Actually, yeah, no,
mind,
it's
man.
in addition to that
Are you
because
kidding me?
the only time I got first try to
Are
this
you
game,
kidding
I
me?
failed not code. So that's like a really bad
Fuck.
split as well. So probably I
Oh
can
my
save
God,
the
man.
thing over first try THC.
I'm getting a beer, dude. I'm chugging. Where are my chuggers at? Chuggers assemble! Woo!
And this part of the video is just going to be the same video again, but I'm going to be commentating a little bit of information over it. So I hope you enjoy this. If not, then thanks for watching the first part of the video. You can see that even in the cutscenes that the runners are synced with skipping the cutscenes, even though it has no bearing on the time, of course.
Okay, let the race begin.
I lined up all of the runners to the frame so that they're completely in sync when they leave, and of course they opt to go straight for Delvin first before switching around, heading back towards Stonehill, trying to pick up 1 or maybe even 2 of the Nork gems there before entering. All runners entering and deciding to not go for the chests behind them. A couple of people picking up the ram before nosediving into the well. And picking up Gavin without Stacy. Still very much, pretty much in time with each other here. Nothing really splitting the runners so far. Every runner going around the houses except Deo opts to only collect half of the chests here. He opts to leave the right hand side of the room bare. Spins around and ignores them. Tuval also seems to do the same. Quick flame charge to pick up the gem faster and hit the last dragon in the area. Side roll to pick up the blue gem. And a very simple charge hop up to the ridge of the level. Collect the blue gem from the ram and the shepherd before whirlwinding up. And every runner bar 1 here will collect Gildas and leave the level immediately. Dest just about getting there first. Wally opts to go for the extra 2 gems at the side of the tower. I also personally go for those gems. I guess they must be slow though, as most runners opt not to go for them. So we can see Dest came out of Stonehill first, followed by Spoon just a second behind. Deo also just about a second behind. Chris as well. DZ about a second and a half behind, as well as Tuval a second and a half behind. And Jumpy and Wally are actually 3 and 4 seconds respectively behind Dest leaving the level. And Dest already picking up nils, followed closely by the other runners, who are then going to immediately go to the right, hop up onto the wall, attack it from the side with another charge hop, not too dissimilar to the Stonehill charge hop, but a little bit more difficult. Go for the fan chest, and a well-timed flame charge will pick up that 10 gem without issue. All runners pretty much taking the same route here. Tuval missing a couple of chests there by hopping over them, not going back for them though. Dest again, the first to exit the level of Town Square, followed nearly 2 seconds behind by Deo and Chris. And another 2 seconds, Tuval and Saboom. Wally, about 3.5 seconds, Jumpy left 6, and DZ 7. Everyone going for the Nasty Nork shortcut, the wall glide from Town Square through the geometry, a little bit of a bounce will get you through to rescue this dragon, saving about 8 to 10 seconds. And all runners successfully getting that and following very similar routes. Similar routes for gems on the way there. All runners making it into the Peacekeeper's world within 4 minutes, which is definitely required for world record pace. You can't be taking more than 3 minutes and 50 seconds in Artisans usually. DZ already at this point about 7 seconds behind first place. So he's got some catching up to do there. All runners going for like a flame charge on the Cannoneers to obtain 10 extra gems on the way to Dry Canyon. Dry Canyon's quite a straightforward level for them to traverse. They only do 50% of it pretty much, and they all do the same 50% of it. None of them go for either. Tuval missing that 10 there by the looks of it, I'm not sure. Looked a bit close, it looked like it fell off to the right. All runners going towards Conan the Barbarian. Des still narrowly ahead in terms of position. Of course, it's a bit hard to judge who is first and who's not based on the runner's position versus their gem count versus their dragon count, so I've tried to do my best to even it out. All runners collecting Boris there, Prime Minister of England, Boris Johnson. Collecting the ever so valuable 25 gems, and they're all going to go for the exact same trick here. A very well timed charge glide from the end of the stage to go and collect Maximos.
Oh, you did. That is. I can't even be sorry.
All runners then going to, of course, exit Dry Canyon and head straight for Cliff Town. There's no divergence yet, but there is a divergence coming up not too far away in the future.
This is like Spyro 3.
There's an interesting trend here, runners. They're going to try and get Mama Proxy. Pretty infamous proxy in terms of consistency. Just going for the safe option of flaming Mama and then going for it. All the other runners basically going behind the wall to collect the gems, whereas Dest opts not to go for those.
I don't know if you told me about that one before.
And Chris getting a Mama Proxy there, very nice. Deo failing his Mama Proxy unfortunately, so he's going to have to go through the level standardly. Tuval also failing Mama Proxy and had to, well, he didn't have to, but he opted to kill himself to reset the proxy. So he's a little bit behind there, lost a bit of time to his death. And Wally seemed to not go for it at all. I think he triggered the minion to charge towards him a little bit too soon, so he was not able to even attempt Mama Proxy. Mon Proxy leads to the rooftop. Runners get that dragon up there to save going for a later dragon in Guantanamo Bay. Those are for the runners that don't do Terrace Village. Some runners do Terrace Village, some don't. It depends on getting that dragon in Clifftown usually. So because yes, Wally 1 was unable to get Mama Proxy, he's probably going to route in Terrace Village later to make up that dragon and the gems up there too. So Deo's now going to have to do the long flight. He's opting not to change his route to Terrace Village, so he's going to do the long flight across. And he's going to improvise here with a bit of a damage boost from the Falcon to save a little bit of time. He tried to get a quick gem from that Falcon there, but narrowly missed it. But ultimately still gets Marco. And this is where the divergence is going to happen here, because Chris and DZ are going to opt to go for Night Flight first. Manning the cannon to get to Night Flight faster before going to Shemp a little bit later. The other runners are going to Shemp instead. So you can see DZ here following in Chris's footsteps. I believe in his actual run he even has Chris's splits next to his own, I can't remember. So they're going to be going through Night Flight and the rest of the racers are going to be going through Shemp. So again, it's a little bit hard for me to keep track of who's ahead. So for this section I don't really give splits, I wait until they reconvene at entering Ice Cavern. Nothing really to talk about with the route to Night Flight. It's a pretty much accepted route for speed. The runners going through Shemp right now, they do the same thing, get the chest, roll into Trondo, and they don't bother with the gems off to the tunnel. The all exit level right there. Okay, so Boom's leaving Dr. Shemp. A lot of the runners here are going for a very difficult charge glide out of Shemp to get up to the Egg Thief part of the level faster. All picking up their first eggs in the process, collecting Gunner as well, most of them being put onto 20 dragons. Those who got the extra dragon in Clifftown, that is. It's a very difficult charge glide up across the canyon there. And those runners that had finished Dr. Shemp are now heading into Night Flight, a lot to keep track of. Trying my best here. So Chris has just got the dragon and he's now going to head towards Dr. Shemp to do that level later. DZ just on his way to the same section Chris left to get the egg. Charge flame there to charge flame jump there to get the egg a little bit faster. It saves like half a second by skipping the animation of collecting the egg. Well, half a second is probably even generous, like a third of a second, but it's a third of the second nonetheless. So the shoes are on the other foot now. Saboom, Wally, Dest, Jumpy Love, Tuval and Deo all in Night Flight. Dest still narrowly leading the pack in terms of like position. He's nearly finished the stage. And he is leaving the stage now, which is just going to coincide with Chris also leaving his Dr. Shemp route. Both runners are going to head to get the dragon in front of Ice Cavern now. I forget his name, Magnus. Chris opting not to go for Magnus. He's going to get Magnus on the way out. That explains why he gets in there a little bit faster. Saboom's still the first into it though. Saboom now leading the pack in terms of position. He's about 3 seconds ahead of Chris, 7 seconds ahead of Wally, 8 seconds ahead of Dest.
The fact that you're getting close to PV is a good sign for the race.
Jumpy Luff and Deo just about to enter now. So Deo's about 19 seconds behind, Jumpy Luff about 20 seconds behind, Tuval about 20 seconds behind, and Deo 28 seconds behind. This again is based mainly on position as opposed to collectibles. It's really difficult to sort of put in collectibles there. I do that a little bit more in Beastmakers and Dreamweavers. I put into a context their collectibles, but for now I focus mainly on where they are positionally, like who entered Ice Cavern when essentially. So Saboom first to reach Andor, Jorah of the Andor Islands. I don't know, I can't think of a good pun for Andor. Andor and Todor being rescued at the same time by Chris and Dale respectively. So Deo, as you can see, despite winning the race, he's a little bit behind here. Saboom getting Stairway to Heaven, as I like to call it. I prefer that name over Magic Stairs. Chris bonking. There was a mistake there. He's going to fix it though quite quickly and get back up into position. And with another well-timed charge jump, you can get up to the ladder part of the level to save Ragnar, save a bit of time there instead of going around the stairs. All runners, of course, are able to do that. Strat's a very easy one. It's one of the first ones that you learn in a run, really, as a beginner. Or it's one of the first ones I learned anyway. I was like, okay, this looks like it's something I can pick up quickly. Chris is going to have to save this dragon now because he missed it going in. And Saboom already on his way to the Magic Crafters World. Alex Destin, Yes Wally 1 also entering into, not the Dreamweaver, sorry, the Magic Crafters. Alex Destin, Wally going into the Magic Crafters, followed by Chris just behind slightly. It's going to take into account now their position for Alpine Ridge as opposed to the Balloonist. Jumpy Luff and Tuval also entering the Magic Crafters World now, DZ as well. Saboom quite a bit far ahead at the moment in terms of position. Bearing in mind though, Saboom goes for less gems on the way because he has Terrace Village as his backup. Well, not backup, I should say, it's actually his intended route, but that's kind of why he's quite a bit ahead at the moment. It will even out pretty soon when we get to the Beastmaker's World in less than like 10 minutes. Alpine Bridge is a level where you can't have any sort of messing around. You've got to really nail the platforming to make sure you don't mess up any of the cycles. Zane from One Direction being rescued. Should have left him in Crystal. Would have done us all a favour. The movement from Saboom is just sublime. The way that he can really nail those glides from charging like at just the right height to maximize his speed. It's pretty intense. Saboom missing a 5 there with that flame charge. Seems to have left the 5 behind.
He got it for and then he said he found another seal.
Yes, Wally 1 just getting his 28th dragon. Dest ahead on 29. Wally of course missing out on the last Clifftown dragon, so it's going to look like he's behind on dragons, but he'll make up for that later. And position wise, DZ just a little bit behind right now. Very nice glide though. That was a very nice glide onto the platform. Saboom going to be the first to glide across through the untextured wall. Or I guess, I don't know, there is a texture there, but it's you can kind of just go through it to get the Thief early and get Kelvin Phillips. Deo and Tuval pretty much in sync right now, both heading over to the Thief. Destin Wally already got the Thief, they're leaving, heading out. Jumpy Luff also just about to get the Thief here, and DZ struggling a little bit. He's quite a bit behind the other runners. Saves Calvin though. And all runners of course then opting to go into High Caves as the next level. Nearest level 2, Alpine Ridge. They're all going to go for the left hand path first to collect Cyrus. And then they're going to have to do some quick platforming across the main chasm, which again is on a bit of a cycle. Saboom managing to reach the platform even though it's the furthest away. It was in its furthest away position, I should say. Chris closely followed behind him though. He's not too far behind. He's on the towers moving. Dest also just entering the final area where Saboom just was. Wally just a little bit behind as well. He's heading into the final cave now. Jumpy Luff losing a bit of time there, waiting for the platform to come back into an optimal position, allowing DZ to gain a little bit of time back on him there. little bit of divergence here. So Saboom opts not to go for bike caves. Again, gems that will be made up in Terrace Village. Whereas Chris and Dest are going for bike caves, using the supercharge to go all the way around, pick up as many gems on the way as possible. A very, very skillful trick, but its gems per second is kind of worth the risk if you're good at it. If you mess it up, you do lose quite a lot of time though collecting the missing gems. You can see Deo doing really well collecting a lot of gems on his way there, as Saboom's just entering Wizard Peak. So it's going to look like Saboom is ridiculously far ahead as he collects that gold gem by doing a flame charger there. DZ and Jumpyluff also following the same route for bike caves, Wally entering Wizard Peak. Tuval also just leaving high caves now. Chris just entering Wizard Peak. You can see time-wise the runners are quite a bit behind Saboom. Jumpyluff and DZ in particular are about a minute behind as it currently stands. Saboom getting triple towers, really well done. Following it through to get to the purple gem in the strong chest, and then finishing on the final tower to get the Thief. You'll see all the runners when they get to this Thief. I believe all runners do get this Thief. They will intentionally kill themselves. Not because they're particularly sad, but because it will get them to the top of the supercharge ramp faster. They can then kill a few thieves to get some gems and save Hexus. Death's just starting his triple tower run now. Wally losing a bit of speed at the edge of his supercharge there. Could have used it to go completely through the spring chest to save a bit of time. Dest very nearly actually falling to his death there. Tuval going for triple towers now at the exact same time as Deo. And both of them getting it without too much of a problem. Bringing it back around. And Tuval and Deo both there, using the supercharge to follow through on the chests, which is what you should really try and do to save a bit of time. Saboom trying to rig the camera here so that he can try to save Boulder while entering Crystal Flight at the same time. That actually saves like 2 or 3 seconds. So it's I think it's about actually it might be 3 or 4. It might save 3 or 4 seconds, because when you come out of Crystal Flight, you've got to then hit the dragon and then come out the other side of the dragon, which will take probably 3 or 4 seconds to do. Saboom, hopefully if he got it, is going to be able to just come out the other side without triggering Boulder. I believe Chris is the only runner as well that got the egg thief on the lake area of Wizard Peak. I think he's the only one that does that. I can't remember what egg he opts to miss so that he can get that one, but yeah. Looks like Tuval may have triggered it as well. You have to really try and get your camera caught on the edge of the portal as you charge glide through it, and you should just caress Boulder, triggering the cutscene, but not having to sit through it. It'll take place during the loading screen instead. Yeah, okay, Saboom got it, so he's going to be a few seconds ahead of the runners that failed to get it. Very nice time onto the platform. Kill the 2 thieves before circling back for Blowhard. Wally just finishing Crystal Flight now. Let's see if he successfully got the Boulder camera manipulation. That's a nope. So Wally's, as you can see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's about 3, 4. That's about, yeah, it's about a 4-second time loss to save that dragon the slow way. So Dest also being forced to save the dragon, losing time on Saboom. Dest had a very strong start, lost a bit of time over the course of Magic Crafters. Deo was successful, as was Tuval, so they also get some time back there. That's good for them. Can't remember if Chris was successful. I think he was. Jumpyluff coming to the closing areas of Crystal Flight, as is DZ. DZ saving the dragon correctly, so he gets to skip that as well, gaining some time back over Wally, who had to sit through it. Jumpyluff also successful. So it looks like Dest and Wally were the only two who happened to be next to each other. They were unable to get the trick. Some people just entering Blowhard now while Saboom's leaving. So yeah, as you can see, there's quite a little bit of a time gap there, but again, Saboom is going for that Terrace Village route. You can see Wally's about 25 seconds behind right now, 35 for Des, 39 for Chris, 50 for Deo, 52 for Tuval. DZ about 1 minute behind, and Jumpyluff about 1:13 behind Saboom, that is, who's still in first place. He's been consistently in first place since I believe Ice Cavern. But that's about to change now. Again, Beastmakers is kind of impossible for me to look at from a position perspective due to runners doing different stages. So the next time you're going to see splits will be for when they are finishing up Metalhead on the way to Dreamweavers. I believe the split takes place on entering the Balloonist for Dreamweavers. So Saboom is going to go through Terrace Village. He's going to pick up this dragon here. He's going to light the firework and head off to the right to do a wall glide to get to the latter part of the level to set off some more fireworks, which will really help his gem count. Wally's also going to follow that strategy too, entering Terrace Village. Wally, of course, missing Mama Proxy, so he's a dragon down there. DZ just entering the Beastmaker's world now, slightly ahead of Jumpyluff, who's about 5 seconds behind. The other runners are going to opt to take damage in the lake to be able to get the firework crate without losing time and losing a sparks, which is nice. Then they're going to head straight into Wildflight. Wildflight has very strict timing to make sure that you get everything you need to. Chris goes straight to the right and goes for the boats first, trying to nail between boats and archers to really optimize the time save. Dest also following the same route. Wally traversing through the electric pads of Terrace Village, taking a bit of damage on his way, but ultimately getting the dragon that he needed to make up for that. I think Chris missed the plane there. Chris with a mild mistake there, missing one of the planes, so he's going to lose a little bit of time to circle back to get it. I believe that happened to Deo in Night Flight as well. Going back to Night Flight, I'm pretty sure Deo accidentally misses a lighthouse and had to circle back, losing about 6 or 7 seconds. So there's time saves to be had even in the world record runners time. That and missing Mama Proxy. Smart there, Deo triggering the whirlwind before circling back to pick up the gems from earlier while the whirlwind is waiting to be triggered. I should definitely implement that in my run because I always go for the chest first, which is a bit slow. Saboom only just now halfway through Wildflight, Wally just entering Wildflight himself. Jumpyluff about to be finished with Wildflight. By ending the flight level near a barrier that Spyro can't glide through, you'll end the circle around cutscene that Spyro does a little bit faster. I have to be careful because if I leave my computer alone for too long, it actually turns off the monitor temporarily, even though I'm still using it. There's going to be a split path on this particular stage now, Misty Bog, one of the more difficult stages in the game. You have quite a few instances of enemies with very long attack animations that really builds up the time. Deo's going to really nail this jump here, getting those 2 gold gems perfectly in time. So some of the runners are going to literally go to the tree stump at the end of the sort of like section, while others are going to go for Guantanamo Bay. You can see Saboom there, he just skips right to the end of the level. Again, this is probably a route I should implement, to be honest. He skips to the end of the level, then he's going to do the level in reverse order. So he's doing the same sections of the level, he's just doing it in a slightly different order than I expected. Be interested to see if Wally follows the same pattern, being as he's currently following the same terrace village route.
Kind of fucking crazy for me right now that that's not the case. I'll remind you that for many years I had no capability.
And then Saboom's going to fly around here to get back up to here, and it looks like he's going to go for Guantanamo Dragon and skip out on the dragon that's kind of like in the middle of Misty Bog, which I wasn't expecting. It looks like Wally's doing the stage forward thinking so that he doesn't have to go into Guantanamo Bay at all. Des being hit by a few frogs there. Deo just on his way to Guantanamo. The deadliest section of the game, as agreed by literally everybody. Combination of shielded enemies and enemies that are better to be flamed because of their attack range. Saboom also with a really good spring chest collection there. Tuvol taking quite a lot of damage in Guantanamo Bay. He's now sparksless. He's got to be careful. Nope, Tuvol with the death in Guantanamo Bay. He did not reach the dragon, so he's going to have to glide back across and have a second attempt. Much better second attempt. Did it like a champ with 0 damage. Chris and Deo just entering treetops now. Des slightly ahead on treetops. Tuvol and DZ now a little bit more in sync with times. They're in the same kind of area. Misty Bog. Jumpuluf still positionally in last place. Wally getting his 46th dragon. I believe that's the last dragon he goes for. No, okay, no, Wally's also a little bit further behind than I thought. I thought he would end his run there, but he's going back up. And he's going to get the gems up here instead. Very good supercharge by Deo to avoid doing the old-fashioned circle around tactic. Getting just enough height to make it across. There we go, now Wally's leaving the level. So yeah, Wally I guess dropping a little bit into last place here because all the other runners are in treetops by this point. Very good from Chris LBC, getting the thief a little bit earlier. I was trying to find out how you do that exactly. Seems very inconsistent whether or not I can kill the thief in that way.
Well, they did that a while ago. The whole side.
But the runners should be approaching their 48th or 49th dragon at this point. Wally's still got 1 to catch up on, or 2 to catch up on I should say. All runners opting to go for the middle route instead of going around the houses. That's because a very good supercharge here should give them enough speed to collect these gems through the fan chest. Chris bonking and nearly falling back off the ledge there, which would have been unfortunate. He's opting not to go for that set of gems anyway, just leaving it as it is. So position wise, Dest and Chris lead the pack. Saboom just leaving in 3rd out of treetops there. Deo in 4th. The rest of the runners are still traversing through treetops. Chris already entering into Metalhead, as is Dest. And Deo is going to be the only one to go for a specific strat from what I can remember. He's going to go over to the right, where there's an enemy waiting for him. Well-timed charge, some kind of weird proxy through the wall there. Not entirely sure why he doesn't pick up all of the gems while he's down there. I mean, he's right there, but it is what it is. Faster way to get the key. Positionally now, Deo leading the pack. That little trick there puts him right next to Chris LBC, just very marginally ahead. DZ leaving treetops in 6th. Jumpuluf leaving treetops now also in 7th. And Wally about to go for his attempt at Knot. Ooh, very close to bonking and falling back, just like Chris did, but even a little bit more tight.
And yeah, it's basically a block.
So Wally's got some severe time to make up to catch up to the other runners at this point if he wants to. I say that like that this is a live race, of course, this is a pre-recorded race. You can't help yourself but try to add a little bit of tension to it regardless of the status of it being pre-recorded. Saboom a little bit behind Chris and Deo, and Dest all on their way to the lot box. Tuval just coming to his 50th dragon now. Always a useful dragon to get on the off chance that you die at a metalhead, but I can imagine runners of this level would probably reset if they died to metalhead. It's quite a huge time loss. Unless there's like a backup for metalhead, I'm not sure. Jumpy Luff narrowly missing an extra gem there from an enemy that rolled just slightly past him. Loads of gems up by the top of Metalhead, that's why I think that it might be a reset spot if you messed it up. There's a lot of gems you miss out at the end of Metalhead. Dest also goes for the gems I go for off to the side there. Some runners opt to just get the gems that the enemies leave behind and then stop. Does put him slightly behind though as a result positionally, because the other runners opted not to go for those gems. All runners going to go for the extra gems in this lockbox down here though. Got the 10 on the way. Good amount of gems. No, a bit of a bonk. 2 bonks from Dest. Is he going to make it 3? No. So it's going to be a hat-trick of bonks. Wally just about halfway through Metalhead. Jumpy Luff just coming to the end of it along with DZ. They're roughly... They're about 5 seconds apart essentially. Tuval just going for the lockbox area. We can really see in Beastmakers is the world where time difference has really accelerated between the runners. With the exception of Saboom, where, you know, he lost time obviously going into Terrace compared to the others. Dale getting the Slap Happy Monk, Chris already got it. All runners getting a very well timed charge glide to make it to the latter part of the level without needing to use a whirlwind, saving about a second. Second's a second, that second that could have been lost elsewhere. Got back. All runners entering into Wildflight. Well, I say all runners. All runners will be entering into Wildflight. Some of the runners, I say some. Wally's still in Beastmakers, just about to leave it now. You can see at this point, Jumpy Luff's about 58 seconds behind, and Wally at 1 minute and 23 seconds behind Chris, who's currently in first. Dale just 3 seconds behind him. Saboom 13, Tuval 35, Des 7 seconds behind. Wally just getting into Dreamweavers now. Jumpy Luff just on his way to Night Flight. All runners trying to preserve at least a green sparks going into Jacques, so that they don't have to die to collect gems, because there's no fodder in between the 2 levels, so that'd just be awkward. Chris being the first to enter Jacques, and Chris's Jacques is a little bit safer than some of the others. He goes for a double cake to ensure that he makes the jump, and Saboom has quite an interesting strat as well. He goes for something different than the others. So we're about to see Chris here. He's getting up to the Clockwork Monks, flames them both to get double cake, and then he's going to hit double cake for a second time to make it across the chasm. They are opting to do it with 1 single layer of cake. My computer going off as Dest is also getting double cake. DZ 730 is just leaving Icy Flight, I think it's called. Yeah, Icy Flight, that's the one. Had a brain fart from what the level was called. Chris and Deo both confronting Jacques, if you can call it confronting. Tuval just not long into the level. Now Saboom here is his different strat. He's going for fast Jacques, which is triggered by doing a flame charge into him, and he's going to miss out on the, I think it's 100 gems or 75 gems up by the return home portal, but he doesn't need it. Well, he needs 6, but the 6 are on the way, so he calculated that to a T. I think he has 6,000 gems exactly going into North Nexus. Chris LBC, as you can see, is quite a little bit ahead. He managed to get inside North Nexus a good 5 seconds before Saboom, and a good 6 seconds or 7 seconds ahead of Deo. But this is where things are going to shake up a little bit, because Deo is going to completely ignore the dragon that Saboom and Chris got, and he's instead going to line up like a madman for this rat proxy. Gets it first try, which is very difficult to do, and that enables him to basically seal the deal, unless he was to have like some kind of nightmare on Nasty Nork, which is not going to happen to a runner of his standards. He's basically sealed the win here. Chris and Saboom going for the more traditional barrel proxy. I still remember when people do the glide around the level, they do like this really long wall glide, just hope for the best instead of going for barrel proxy. But while it's probably time-wise roughly the same, it's definitely more risky than going for barrel. Chris opting to go for the sort of like skittered jump, where you get this weird sort of bobble, allowing Spyro to get enough height to skip Twilight Harbour. So even though they had to do North Cove, they did get to skip Twilight Harbour at the very least. Both going for fast green thief, and then fast second green thief, I guess.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Dest having a little bit of trouble.
I don't know what this is gonna be, dude. I'm about to
We also just saw in the top left of the screen, Tuval manages to catch up drastically to Deo, not Deo, Deo's just finished, catches up to Chris and Saboom by doing Coveless the very traditional and difficult way, running up the back of the dragon head, and then doing a wall glide into the level. Dest managed to get into Nork after a few failed attempts, doing the fast strat to skip Twilight Harbour. Jumpy Luff not long did barrel proxy. DZ also not long did barrel proxy. Wally just got barrel proxy. And they're heading into the level now. Saboom and Chris literally just a second apart there in the finish. It's insane. Des chasing Nork now, so he and Tuval are probably going to claim 4th and 5th here. Wally setting up to do a skittish jump, and he gets it. And Tuval claiming 4th there. Very, very solid end to what was a terrible run for Tuval. His words, not mine. He's the first to admit that that run was terrible. If it was not for Coveless working, he probably would have reset. Des claiming 5th. DZ and Jumpyluff literally in sync here. They're both in the same section, chasing Nork almost to the pixel, really. DZ failing to get ahead of Nork like Jumpyluff did, and so Jumpyluff is going to be nudged forward by Nasty Nork, saving him a little bit of time. Yeah, I'm a little bit sad that I missed the exact second Tuval got Coveless, because it's a really amazing moment. He even bonks right before getting to Nasty Nork, which could have stared him, which would have been the worst thing ever. So yep, Jumpyluff flaming Nork, DZ also flaming Nork, Wally not too far behind, all things considered. He had a much better Nork Nexus than Jumpyluff and DZ, but it just was not enough. So you can see the final times of the runners here. Deo 37.57, Chris 38.31, Saboom 38.32, Tuval 38.51, Alex Des 39.06, Jumpyluff 39.47, DZH 7.30, 39.48, and Yes Wally 1 39.57. He was only 9 seconds behind in the end, despite how far it looked he was behind entering Dreamweavers. So a very good comeback for a Wally, despite finishing last out of these runners. But just remember, Wally, you're like 180 places ahead of everyone else, even if you're the best of the worst here. Oh, the worst of the best, that's what I mean to say. You're the worst of the best out of these. Absolute solid performance by all 8 runners. I wonder if Eyebolt and Laura will one day be entering into this top 8 now that Wally's not really doing many runs, Tuval's not really doing many runs. So they seem kind of retired from running this game. And Dactyli, who was in my previous video, he's also seems to be out of the loop for doing runs. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you had a good time watching the 8 best Spyro 180% players. I think I'm going to make sure that I don't do an update of this run for a while. You know, if someone enters the top 8, I'm not just going to submit a run for that one person. I just felt like I had to for this one because Deo got the world record in this run. So maybe I will do a video like this for 120% next, which is going to be, of course, more than an hour and 20 minutes long. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you want to, and you can also subscribe to all of the guys that were runners today. They're all fantastic. Peace out. This concludes the video and the race between the best 6 any % speedrunners on the Retro Spyro game. I'm going to leave a link in the description to all of their YouTube channels, or if they don't have a YouTube channel, a Twitch channel, so that you can support their content as well as this video. If you did enjoy the video, please consider dropping a like and subscription to the channel. I hope to do a few more videos in this series. For now, bye.
I'm not too humble to admit that shit was legendary. Oh my god, the double rats. The double fucking rats.
I
How
mean,
many tries was it for?
third try, which
Holy
matches up with what
shit.
Liz just said. Unless he means
I'm
in
fucking
addition.
hyped out of my
Actually, yeah, no,
mind,
it's
man.
in addition to that,
Are you
because
kidding me?
the only time I got first try to
Are
this
you
game,
kidding
I
me?
failed not code. So that's like a really bad split as well. So probably I
Oh
can
my
save
God,
15
man.
over first try TXT.
I'm getting a beer, dude. I'm chugging. Where are my chuggers at? Chuggers assemble!